Good morning and welcome to Manny's Makings. Today we're going to play with a hand-painted dragon eye and see if we can come up with some kind of pendant that would be fun with some wire weaving. So I have my bent nose pliers, my nippers or my cutters, chain nose pliers, round nose pliers, and my wire straighteners. I have 28 gauge and 20 gauge. I may use some 26 gauge too of ParaWire. I have some metal beads in copper and sort of a hematite and silver, and they're just different sizes, and I may or may not use these in that, but I just wanted to take them out. And we're going to start from here. So get your supplies ready and I'll come back when I have some pieces cut and let you know the length. I'm going to start with quite a long length I'm going to do, I think, 4 pieces of the 20 gauge, and then I'm going to do some wire weaving on it, and then we're going to start playing. I'm also thinking of using a cog wheel, so let me grab that as well, and I'll show you that, a cog wheel to do some wrapping to start with on the eye to get it sort of set up for the wire weaving. So this is going to be a long tutorial, so I'm going to just do it in quick little phases. I'm going to show you what we need to do for, what the weave I'm using, and then I'll come back when I've done a piece, and then I'll do the next little piece, and I'll come back when I've done a piece to try to shorten the length of this video. So get your supplies ready, and we're going to have some fun with the dragon eye today. Okay, I'm back, and I picked out a couple of cogs that I sort of tested them against the eye. This would make a really small cog, and this is actually a button. It's kind of fun, and I'm thinking of using it backwards. And I'm mixing metals. I'm not caring today. I'm just having fun, and you're going to get to see me have fun and do this. So I'm not going to go with this littler one. I'm going to go with this bigger one here. I took out my 26 gauge wire from ParaWire, and I took a full, sort of nose to end, tip of arm length. I think that'll be enough to do what I'm going to do here. And what I'm starting with is I'm going to take it, let's see if I can come in here. Sorry about the wiggling on the camera. And these are wires that I cut. I'm not sure if I'm going to need that length, but I cut them 20 inches. So I'm trying this with this is actually a beading background to see if it's any better for color-wise and stuff. So, okay. So I'm taking my wire and I'm going to just hold it across the back, and I'm leaving myself enough that it's not, I can have that to twist in with the end wire and secure the whole thing together. And I'm centering this on the best I can. Doesn't matter which way up at this moment, because as long as it's centered, it's good. And then I just got to figure out, okay, if I go that far, it's going to dig into the eye that much. So if I go to this one, but if I go to that one, it's going to dig in that much. I think I'm going to go with this one, and if I have to, I can always, and now this is quite a thick eye. It's, so I'm going to go with this one, and then I'm just going to the next cog, and then I'm coming to the next one, and to the next cog, and to the next one. And I'm just continuing on one cog and one cog. Depending on the cog that the cog wheel that you're using will depend on what's different. So I need to get this wire out of the way because I know that I've already got it entrapped in the back here. So let's pull this out of the way. My starting wire. Putting it back, I just don't want to trap it. There we go. Okay, so I was there. So I'm just pushing with my thumb hard against here, and then I'm just going like this. So if you want to see more sort of creating on the spot videos like this, please like, share, and subscribe. Definitely like and subscribe. And as you can see, I'm just taking the next one and the next one. This is a pretty simple technique. It reminds me of Spirograph. I know that's a brand name, but years ago, when I was a kid, we used to do this Spirograph stuff, make fancy pictures. Now I'm going past my tail. I'm keeping going. Basically, I'm going to keep going until I know the eye is secure and it's not going to go anywhere. And I'm just going to the next one and the next one every time I go. To the next one and the next one, and I'm making sure I'm not missing any. Now I don't like how much that's covering the eye, so I'm pulling that a little bit, wondering if I'm still centered. I think I'm not anymore, so I need to slide this over a little bit before I get it in there really completely. Tighten that up. Whoop, tighten that up. There we go. So I have just enough wire, and I got back to my start point again. So that's where I needed to be, so the two of them come together. So I'm going to take it, bring it across to the, flipping it to the back, and the back looks kind of cool, doesn't it, with the cogwheel. I'm thinking this would make a really awesome button for a bracelet or something. So I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to twist it like a twist tie for now to hold these together a few times. And I'm just going to put this in the back. I'm not sure how I'm going to attach this yet to the other wire work I'm going to do. So until I decide that, we won't know. So now I'm just going to push this up. I'm just pushing it up with my thumb very gently. I don't want it to pop out. You can glue it down. You can use some E6000 if you want. But I don't know if you can see, but it ain't going nowhere. It's in there pretty tight. Okay, so the next thing is I'm thinking I want some heavier wire weaving across the top and some lighter wire weaving across the bottom, and then I need to do some swirls and curls and have some fun so that I can turn this into an eye, and then I got to figure out a way to put a bail on it. So that's as far as my forethought is gone. So I figured I'd start with 4 weaving wires because I can use all 4 up top, and then I can use, you know, 3 at the bottom and 1 across the back, and I can sort of put it across the back to hold it in place. So I'm going to start with the weaving. So I have 4 wires. They're really, really long. They're straightened as best I can considering how long they are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get ready for this. I'm going to cut my wire. Then I'm going to need my I might do my 26 gauge wire on the top end and get this done, and then come back when you get this part of it done, and you can follow me on the next part. Okay, so I have a full wingspan of 26 gauge wire that I'm going to start with, and I'm thinking of this wire as 2 halves, one for the lower part of the dragon's eye, one for the higher part of the dragon's eye, and then we're going to do some creative stuff to bring some of it back and do swirls and fun things. So I'm going to start with doing a weave, and I'm thinking I want something sort of, I don't know, not spiky, but sort of on those lines for the top lid. So I'm just starting somewhere around the middle of my wire. It means I'm going to have to work with, you know, a really long piece. I could start further up and work my way, push it down. It's up to you how you want to do it. I'm just going to start somewhere around the middle of the wire. Probably at the, I don't know, you can't see the whole wire here, but I'm thinking this is at like 2/3 mark at this point. And I'm leaving a decent tail because I may need it's not that long, but it's probably 4 inches, just in case I need a couple of extra little wraps. So I'm going to start with just some simple wraps. I'm going to just do like 4 wraps to get this wire started to, 3, 4. Okay, so let's bring this in. It is in, I don't know if you can see that. So I just started with 4 wraps. Okay, so then I need to bring the next wire on top. And I'm just holding that on top, sort of making sure the ends are equal. And I'm thinking I'm going to go around both of these wires 3 times. And then I'm going to bring it up the middle of the 2 wires and push. And then I'm going to add my next wire. I need to stay on screen today. The thing is when I wire weave, especially when the wires are this long, I flail around all over the place. So just so you know, if you're doing that, you're absolutely normal. Most people do not stay perfectly still when they wire weave. Okay. So I'm going to go 3 times around these last 2 wires. I'm just trying to separate them out a bit so that I can get to them. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then I need to come up in the middle instead of where I came up there. There we go. Okay, so I'm ready to add the next wire. Once I get these going, it'll be a lot easier, but till then, I gotta play with these wires and get them nice. And there's a lot of wire here. Okay, so the next wire is sort of sitting where it needs to, and I'm going to go around it for, or sorry, 3, because I've been doing 3 so far on everything. 1, 2, 3. Now they're settling in a little bit, so I can space them out a little bit better and everything be happy. Squish all this together. So this is what we have so far. Okay, so 4, 3, 3, 3, and now I'm going to come up in the middle. See if I can, my camera will autofocus here. Whoops, I get it wrapped around 15 things here. Okay, so I'm going to come up in the middle here, and I'm going to wrap the top wire 4 times. And that's going to give it sort of a square appearance. There's 4. So now I got to work my way back down. So it looks like it's going to be 5. So as long as I repeat the same thing, it doesn't really matter. So it's 1. As I said, wire weaving is one of those organic things that you can do any way you want pretty well. So there's 3 there. I'm going to come down through the middle of the first and second wire, and then I'm going to do 3 over the second and third wire. 1, 2, 3, and these wires are trying to cross themselves. Holding that, coming up in the middle. And then we're going to do the bottom ones. One. That's 2. And that's 3. And then I'm going to do the bottom wire 4 times again. So that's basically the pattern that I'm setting up. And get these to behave, these wires. 4. So this is what you have so far. And I'm going to continue doing this until I have enough length that I feel like I could make this fit around from the halfway point all the way around to the other point. So I'm just going to sort of gauge it as I go. Okay, so I'll be back when I get that done. Hi, I'm back, and as you can see, I've got some wire weaving done. So now I got to curve it to see if it'll fit my piece. So I'm just going to gently bend it because I know that I'm going to work towards the round. So I'm trying to keep it flat. It's going to be sort of the eyelid, right? The start of the eyelid. So I'm just bending it between my thumb and my fingers, keeping the wire weaving flat. And I made sure all the weaving was nice and tight. You can double check. Okay, so let's take a look at with the eye. So I need to come in more for sure. Now the eye isn't round on a dragon, it's sort of, I don't know, the shape you'd call it. Okay, so this is what I've got so far, and I'm thinking it's pretty close. It might need to go a little bit more, but now I gotta turn this around so that I can do the top part. Or the bottom part, because this is actually, I've got this backwards. Let me flip everything around. So if you look at it like this. Okay, so this is the start of the eyelid. Does that make sense? Now I'm going to have to put other pieces behind here. More, you know, obviously there's going to be a lot of work, but basically I want to put that there. So here has got to be my turning point to make, you know, the little pieces in the eye. So I've got 4 wires here. So I'm wanting to do one to come in, a little twirl in, to sort of make that little teardrop thing. I may end up putting a bead in there. Who knows what I'll end up doing. But anyway, so I'm going to take this wire closest to the weaving wire, and I'm just going to hold on to it. And I'm going to bring it around into a tight little curl. And back. See, I'm working on that shape of the eye. See how that comes back? Now with this one, oops, sorry, I just moved a light out of the way here. With this one, I'm thinking these two need to go the other way. Maybe not. How do I want to do this? All right, let's take this one just alongside of it. So I'm just holding it my finger where the curl is so that I can bring it just alongside of it. And let's take a look with the eye. So I definitely need to bring that in more. I'm starting to work on the shape of the eye, see? Pretty cool, huh? So, and I'm not doing this attached to anything. There's lots of, Yvonne Williams has on Back to Earth Creations, does it attached to a bracelet. So I want this to be free form, and I'm going to eventually get a bail up, probably to the top or maybe one end, I'm not sure yet, and it'll hang. So, let's see, I need, I'm going to make this one curl outwards because I just feel like it, and we'll see how it all ends up, because again, you're creating with me. I haven't figured my way through this already and gone, oh, this is exactly what I need to do. I am doing this as I go. So I have that, and that doesn't look pointy enough to me for a dragon's eye, so I'm going to go this way with this curl. And I made that loop just a little bit bigger. And I'm placing all 4 wires, if you notice, back along each side each other. So this is what I have as a start so far. So this is, bring this in more, this is the start of my eye. It's looking pretty good to me. And I'm thinking I see some beads in my future. So, okay, so now I got to do something with these 4 wires. And I have a ton of wire here. So, let me just come back out a bit. I'm in as tight as I can go. Okay, so I have tons of wire, as you can see, on the one side and a little less wire on this side. So I need to do something with these wires as I bring them back. So I'm just making sure they're all lined up and they're all on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, as I bent them, sort of deal. So they make sense. The wires lay where they should. Okay, so I got the 4 wires laying like they should. I'm thinking I'd like to coil this one. And maybe not. Maybe I'll coil this one. And I'll do a 2-2 weave, 3-3 weave on this one. So let's start with a 3-3 weave, okay? So bringing my wires all the way back around. All right, so I've got the wire I still have left here, and since I am right-handed, I'm going to flip the whole piece over, because with the 3-3 weave it doesn't really matter, and it was the bottom 2 here that I was going to do in the 3-3 weave. So I need to work my way from there to here. So let's work my way. I'm just going through that wire. I'm going to go around this wire once. I know there's lots of wires in the way, so you can bend them out of the way in a minute, but I don't want to bend them too much. There, I'm just bending that up just a little bit to get it out of my way. So I went around that wire once. 1, 2, 3, 4, so I need to go around this wire next. I'm going to go around this wire once. It's the second one from the top. And I'm just shoving it all in, and what I'm doing, that's connecting all the wires together at the same time too, and sort of lining them up. So as I head back, I'm sort of going to do a detour, so now I'm going to go to this one, and go around that second one closest to me. And then I'm on the bottom wire now. Yay! Okay, so what I did was, see if I can show you. If it'll focus for me. Nope. All I did was work around the top wire, then the next wire, then the next wire, and then the last wire. So that it puts me down so that I have these 2 wires ready to go. I don't know if that makes any sense. Alright, and I didn't mess up anything that I'm doing here. Alright, so now I'm going to do a 3-3 weave. If you don't know how to do that, you're more than welcome to check out one of my other videos. Easy wire wrapped earrings, I believe it was, or yeah, has the 3-3 weave in it. But anyways, it's just basically 3 times around the 2 wires together, which I'm going to start right in the center. Ugh. I'm banging my camera with the, with the wires that are sticking up, the big long ones. So let me just bend these out of the way a little bit. I don't want to bend them too much because I don't know what I'm going to do with them. And there. So I just bent them a little bit down to get them out of the way. And these ones I can bring out a little bit, so like when I'm working on them, I'm not so crazy. So 3 around there, tight up, and then just 3 around the bottom. 1, 2, 3, and I'm just using what's left of my 26, and I still have almost half a wingspan left. Okay, and then I'm going to bring it up and do 3 around both. 1, 2, 3. So you get the idea. Now I'm going to work this, and then I'm going to coil the one in here, the middle one, and I'll come back when both of those are done. Okay, I'm back, and I have the 3-3 weave done on this bottom wire, the coiling done on this wire, and I've left this wire plain. And when I take it and put it across here, I've got 2 weaving wires attached here at the bottom. I'm leaving them. So I'm going to hold on to the eye, try to center it where I would want it, pull this down where I want it, making sure all the wires are below these wires. So I'm just pulling and sort of manipulating, sort of getting an idea. And I think I've gone far enough. I actually think I went too far on the coiling, but that's okay. So I need to attach these now. So I'm actually thinking I need to come up right up to like that far. See how I'm trying to make it into the eye? It's getting there, slowly but surely. Okay, so I got to bend these babies. But this inside wire is kind of naked and it needs a little something something, and I'm not sure what yet. So I'm going to pull a couple of beads and I'm going to try them. And I know that these metal beads, all the sizes fit this 20 gauge, so I'm not worried about it. And I'm just wondering if I want that next to the eye or not. Let's try a little one. So like a pattern like this. I'm actually, whoops, a pattern like this. I am actually kind of liking that. I think it will help to sort of beef up. So I'm going to put these on, these different, I'm going to do a big bead, little bead, big bead, little bead, and I'm going to attach these to the side here. And basically what I'm going to do is take them and fold them over, and yeah, I'll come back. Okay, I'm back, and I did put the beads on, so those are ready to go. And I'm going to start with these 2 bottom ones. I've shaped them the way I like them. I know that I want to put them over here. I'm going to get rid of this little piece of weaving wire because I don't think I need it. So I'm just cutting it really tight. That's good, so let's pull that back up. So these 2 wires are just hanging out on the top, the ones with the beads and the coiled wire, and I'm pulling up the one from underneath. So I want to get it up right about there. And then I'm going to take it and just bring it around. And that makes a great back piece, possibly. And I'm going to just take it and press it down with my pliers gently to make sure that that's good and locked in. That's happy. So let's get the eye in there. Not sure if I'm going to put the eye in that way, but it's already starting to look way better. So I want the eye a little more towards the front. So I'm just going to hold everything where I'm sort of thinking it's going to go. And this has got to come up here. Yeah. Yeah, definitely need some more curly cues and stuff, but let's get these secured. So I put that where I want it. I'm going to take that weaving wire off. It's not going to waste, believe me. It's going to get used, I'm sure. I'm just debating whether I want to curl this first before I move this beading wire one out, the bead out. I'm debating whether I want to curl this first to fill in some of that space, and I'm thinking, yeah, this isn't up where it's supposed to be. There we go. That's better. Yeah, it doesn't want to stay yet, but that's okay. Pulling this down. I'm just going to tweak this out to the side because I need it to stay where I want it to. So you can see already it's starting to look more and more like an eye, but I can see that the shape's not quite right. So I'm going to pull this out for a second, and I just need to, I'm bending this the way I need it, bringing this up. Remember how I say you're the boss of the wire? You are definitely the boss of the wire. I can see that this one is not bent at the right place. So let's bend it again. And this one I think I'm actually going to take and bring up around here and bring to the other side. I'm going to probably make some curls, so that's nice and secure now there. Let's double check with the eye. Until we get the eye fastened in, I can play all I want. So, doing good. I don't know if you can see how this is progressing. And I just lost a bead. It just bounced across my floor. I don't know if you heard that. That was kind of funny. So what I did with the beads is I started with the smaller beads in the inside and worked to my bigger beads on the outside. So I'm building up layers. One of the things these dragon eyes really love is lots and lots and lots of layers. So I have this one. And I think I'm going to do the same thing as I did with the last one. I'm just debating whether I need one more bead in there or not. I think I'm going to put one more in there. Let's get a nice shiny one. So these are actually metal beads, so which is kind of cool. I got them from my local Michaels store, and I got them in 2mm and 3mm, or 3mm 4. I have to check. And they come in like 3 different metal tones on one string. So let me just press all this down now and put it where I want it to be so it's happy. I'm just pressing all this down. Pressing all this down. Okay, so this is what I have so far. Let me pop this out a little bit because I don't want this hiding behind. I want it sort of over the eye. Stick the eye back in. Take a look. It's getting there, slowly but surely. Okay, so now I need to do some circles and some other twirly bits, and I'm just trying to think how I want to do that. So And this is the creative process for me. I have to like, how do I want to make this look? And I still have tons of wire to deal with. And I don't have to use it all. I just wanted to make sure that I gave myself a lot of wire to start with. Okay. Well, I'm thinking the top of this eye needs some more lid. So I'm thinking I'm curling this and bringing this back to the top of the eye. And let's see. It's not fixed in there yet. There's just these two wires sort of holding it a little bit in place. So I'm going to take this and curl this around. Get the eye out of the way because it's fiddly. I'm making sure it's pulled tight. I'm bringing it around with my finger, making a curly cue that's going to come into the eye. See how that's going to come into the eye a little bit? I'm just flattening and straightening the wire, making it happy, and this thing's sliding around all over. I'm not sure if this bead thing helps at all. I just thought it would mute down the glare that I'm noticing in my videos. Nobody's complained, so if you guys are happy with the old setup, I'll go back to it. And I'm thinking I can put a coil on this one and bring it over and fasten it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to fasten this one. Let's see, I'm going to put it here. I'm debating whether I want more beads on it now. See? I'm thinking. I'll check it with beads, and I'll check it without beads. I'm going to coil this wire, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and I'm just, as you can see, I put the beads on. I decided I wanted beads. It looks good. I did the coil. When the beads, I wrapped it around, you can see right, let's see if I can get it to focus. I wrapped it around here once, and then I made a coil with it, and I'm going to take that coil and flip it this way in a minute. I have the coiled second wire that I told you that I was going to coil, and I put that between the two in the space there. And now I need to coil that, and I'm going to do the same thing. So, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. As you can see, I took the two coils and folded them over so that secures all of that in place. And this is what it looks like so far. I'm really happy with it. It's coming along really nice. So now I have to think about securing it to the back. And I have 4 wires here to deal with. So I also need to do a bail. So I have to think outside of the box. And I have these 2 wires here I'm not sure I'm doing with yet. These are the 2 that I originally could have put around the back. Not sure though. What I'm doing with any of it yet. So let's take a look. So if I take, this is me just talking out loud, thinking out loud, okay? So if you think I'm a gooball, then that's fine, don't watch my videos. But for those of you who stick out my videos to the end, I have something special for you. So stick it out to the end, and there might be something really cool that you can get, you might like. So now I need, going across the back's not a big issue, right? I can go across the back anywhere, anyhow I like. The big issue is going to be the bail that I need to put here. And I'm just trying to think where I want to put the bail. I'm thinking the bail would be really nice kind of up here. So how do I get these wires over there? I have a brilliant idea. I can do some more weaving. Because I'm actually kind of happy with how much the eye is covered with these beads, and I always like to actually have a little bit of space showing between all of this. I think it looks cool. So I think I'm going to wire wrap these, or wire weave these, and then I'm going to make a big loop that I'll twist sideways to make the coil, and then I'll bring it back and around, and that'll widen the top end a little bit. And the bottom end needs something, so I don't want to take all of them because I still feel like I'm missing, I don't know, it feels like it's missing something there. If I bring this down a little, let me see, I have to look at it from my angle. If I bring this down a little so that bottom lines up, because I can take it and stitch it in with wire, so I'm not worried about that. If I bring this down a little, then I definitely need more up here to sort of cover the top piece there. So, and this will all bend around the eye, so I can push this down and like secure it once I'm securing it, and it'll come in to meet. I don't know if you can see this, but I can bring this down so I can come to meet the sprocket that the cog that I use to secure the eye. Okay, I'll be back when I figure it out. Okay, so that took me a while to sort of think things through and what I wanted to do. So I am going to use these two somewhat to secure the back. I'm going to bring these across. I'm not going to worry about covering them. And I'm going to make some more spirals in here. This one here, so there's 4 wires. I'll show you. So this is the, okay, let's go to the back. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you see them? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this first one here, I left where it was. The next 2 I bent over towards the bail. And this one here, I'm going to put a coiled coil on top of it and bring that around in behind to sort of beef up the back side. I think I need to have it a little beefier. I think I'll be happier with it a little beefier on the sort of front side there. And this one I'm going to make loop-to-loops, sort of spirals and curls freeform across the bottom and to join up in here and help with the connection over here. So I guess I could show you sort of how I'm going to do this one. I need to think about how I want the eye to look. So I'm going to bring this up this way, and I'm going to just do a little freeform spiral. So you have lots of length so I can sort of play, and you don't have to always go the same way. That's the nice thing about organic dragon eyes. But I do think I want another one this way first, and I want this one a little bit bigger. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to actually take it and tuck it in between these 2 wires here and secure it. So I'm going to secure this little, I'm going between the coil and the 3/3 weave. There we go. Straighten out my wire. That's what they make wire straighteners for. So, and then when I bring it back up, I'm going to go the other way. Sorry, I brought it back up. I'm going to go the other way. So basically I'm journeying and coiling along this wire, and that's what I'm going to do to sort of add some character and life. I don't want to cover up all the weave, but I do want to have some fun with this to bring it along here to the front end here. So this is the back side of the eye, the front end of the eye, and then I need to do the bail. So with the bail, I'm actually going to just sort of, I'll show this on the back. I'm going to bring this down a little bit towards the middle, sort of mirroring. I'm going to have this bent a little bit. I don't want it to be perfectly straight. So I'm going to sort of mirror that a little bit, and then I'm going to bend it up. And then I'm going to secure it with some weaving wire on either side of this center piece here to be able to start my bail with. This one I'm going to make a coiled coil, put it on top, and then I'm going to bring it actually behind these bail wires, and the bail wires will come up in between the coils so that it will hide them somewhat, and then this will come around here with a coiled coil on top of it, and then I'll come back when I get to that point. Okay, I'm back and I have lots to show you. So I did the 1 wire, and I'm going to come up really close so you can see this. So this 1 wire, remember the one on the bottom that I said I was going to spiral? Let's see if I can get it to focus. Let's move this other stuff out of the background. Come on, baby, you can do this. Okay, so this one I loop-de-loop, and I would put it underneath and then back up and loop some more and then back underneath. So it's stuck. It's not going anywhere. Okay, and I brought it here, and those 2 wires that went around the back, these 2 here, these 2 wires here, I just wrapped around it and it created a spiral. Let's see if I can get it out of focus here. Give me a second here. Okay, so that was the 1 wire that I talked to you about that I was going to take care of. So now the eye's in there. Then I coiled the coil, made a coil, and I decided to use bring in some more of these darker colors. I thought it sort of popped with the green, and I really like it. So I made a coiled coil, and if you look, it sort of covers up, once I secure this all, it's going to cover up the top edge of that button, the cog that's holding on the eye. So I'm going to push that, you know, to cover that top edge. There we go. Push that to cover that top edge, and then it'll be sort of hidden there. So that's what that looks like. And these I'm going to make spirals out of. Now I took that coiled coil on that other wire, that really long wire that I had over here. Remember, there was 4 wires. The one that did the spirally bits, or the circly bits, or I don't know what you want to call them. Freeform little bits on the bottom of the eye. The other one, I made a coiled coil and put it over top of the other wire, and then brought it around, and I secured it basically right here on the front of, let's see if I can get it to focus. Okay, so I brought it around. You can see the wires going around, and there's the wire there. So I brought it around, I started to secure it. So I'm probably going to bring that one back again. After making a few, I need to make sort of the point of the eye. I don't know if you know what I mean, but the eye sort of goes to a bit of a point on the one side. So this side's sort of done. Yeah, got the coil I put over here to secure that side of it. So I made like a spiral, and then yeah. So now I got to deal with the bail. So what I've done so far is I've just sort of bent the wires around the back here and then brought them up. Now I'm going to need to get them underneath this coil somehow, and I'm even thinking about putting it underneath this eyepiece, but I think I'm just going to go underneath the coil now that's once the coil is really good and secure. And then I'm just going to probably do I may bring this third one up to join this one, and then I'm going to do a weaving pattern. But once I get to that point, when I get this third one up with this one, and I get them on the other side of this coil, so basically I'm going to have to feed them underneath this. So I might undo this a little bit and then feed them underneath and then do them back up again. So that's what we've got so far. Now, for those of you who've watched this far, I'm going to tell you, because I told earlier in the video that we're going to have a special. So I'm going to list this in my Etsy store. It's going to get listed right around the same time that this video is published. If you put in watched YouTube video, the words watched YouTube video, I'm going to give you 50% off the price, and you can have the dragon eye, this particular one. And once it's gone, it's gone. If you want to do a custom order, you can. But this particular dragon eye, it's going to be watched YouTube video. And I said it's going to be at the end that I would mention it, but I wanted to mention it now because those of you who watched this far, you're not just skipping to the end to get this super bargain, and you deserve it. So I appreciate it, and I appreciate that you watch my videos, and I'm so happy I've gotten past the 20 mark in subscribers. So this is to celebrate all of that, and I'll come back once I get the bail ready to do. I'll show you the wire weaving I'm going to do on the bail, and this dragon eye is almost done, and it's looking pretty beautiful. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and as you can see, I've got this secured. What I did was I took a piece of wire and I secured the coil in a couple of places, and I actually tucked, you can see it in this place, I couldn't get it in there, hide it enough, and here you can see it, but basically when I could, I came to the front and went around, and when I got to these 3 wires, what I did was brought it around and wrapped, and then brought it back down. And so these 3 wires are secure in there, they're not going anywhere. Did some shaping a little bit, it still needs a little bit of tweaking. I'm thinking right here needs something, so I'm thinking a nice little green stone would be just beautiful in there, and that would just add pop to the whole thing. But now we got to do the bail. So I have 3 wires, and if you want to see what's happening on the back here. So I brought the 1 wire that I said that I was going to make it the 3rd one, and I brought it over and made it the 3rd one. These 2 wires came from the other side. They were originally there, and then those ones are the ones that were the original 2 little wires that came across, and then the 3rd one that joined it, right? So if you've been following the process so far, you can see, and there's nothing on the back that's going to hurt anything. If you look from the top, the cog is pretty well hidden. I mean, you can see it at the bottom. I did secure in a couple of places along the bottom here. See if I can see one of the places. I secured this front edge to this so that it's not going to lift up at all and sort of slide around. So that's good, with just a little bit of weaving, scraps of weaving wire. Remember all those little pieces of weaving wire that I keep finishing? Well, I grab one of those, and that's what I do that with. So yeah, so this is what I'm doing so far. I'm happy with the eye so far. They said I need a green stone in there, but I'll do that with weaving wire, and I'll just come in underneath and weave it and secure it and put it back, just to have a little sparkly green stone there. I think I need, but I got to find it first. So let's do the bail. So the bail is pretty cut and dry for me anyways. I'm gonna so this is pretty heavy. I don't want to do a light airy bail. I need to have some substance to it, don't I? Ooh, wait a second. I have a piece of coil left. Remember when I made the coiled coil? I had some coil left over. And, you know, as you're making the coiled coil, sometimes it comes off the end. I'm thinking that this would look really nice on top of, in the middle of the bail, and leave this wire in the center, and we'll just basket weave these, like, you know, when you go over and under, like a figure 8. And then in that channel, I could put this, and it would add this nice little pop. I think I would like that a lot, and that would become my bail. I need a couple of, I might put a couple of these brass ones down here. It's looking a little lopsided. So I'll put a green one in here and a couple of brass, little, you know, copper or brass or whatever metal beads down here. Just need a couple of them, and I think I'm good. So let's do the, I'm going to make the bail, so let's get this out of the way. Go. So I'm just getting it out of my way. And so basically I'm just, doesn't really matter how I start. I'm just going to hold that over there, because I'm going to have to tuck it down, push it down against the coils anyways, the coil. So I'm going, that went over, so under, around one more time, and then under, one more time, and then under, and then one more time, and then under. See, I'm going under the wire and then coming up over from the top. And I need to leave these, make sure these are staying spread enough, but I'm just trying to tuck it in there right now. And then one more time. Okay. So let me work that till I got, I'm going to have it widen up to about here. I don't want the bail too big, so widen it up to about here, and then keep it the same, and then I'll narrow it down the other side. And I'll come back when I have sort of the, you know, it'll look like this piece. It'll sort of look like this. That's not helping. There we go. It'll sort of look like that. So when I have that ready to make the bail, I'm going to come back. I'm going to put the coil on this one, and I'll come back when that's done. Hey, I'm back. So I have done the weaving on the back here for the bail, and then I put the coil on, and then up here all I did was, come on, yeah, I wrapped 3 times around all of them, and then I stuck the wire in the middle between all 3. And you can't see it because it's not focusing. There we go. See, 3 times, and stuck it in the middle. So now I'm ready to bend it. So I'm going to need to get something to put it around. So I have If you guys have seen my previous videos, I have these spikes. You can get them at Hobby Lobby, Michael's. If you're American, Canadian, it's just Michael's. So, how big do I want this? I'm going to go with start with a bigger size. So I'm going to bend forward just a slight bit. And I'm bending it over. See? There we go. So now we have a bail. And I think that goes really well with that. I'm going to make sure that this coils down all the way. It doesn't seem to be, so let's push that down. And next thing I need to do is bend this. So I need to take this and I need to bend these 3 wires like that so I can secure them to the back side here. So let's see where I can secure them. Well, I have these wires here that I could probably, and they're pretty sturdy, that I could probably get underneath and then wrap a couple more times. I definitely could do that. So let's see if we can do that. So this is the hard process for me to do on camera for you. And just so you know, I hand painted the eye myself, before you ask. I didn't buy it somewhere. I hand painted it. It's done. This one is done with nail polish. I've done them with acrylic paint. Okay, just to show you. This is a little baby eye. And this one was done too by me. So it's a little baby eye. You see it's like huge. It's super small. I don't have a bail on it though. I never figured out how to put it on this little tiny one. So what I'm doing is I'm curving the wire so I can get it up and underneath. I don't want to go underneath all these cogwheel wires as much as I want to go under just those 2. Yay, I got it. So I got it under those 2, and I'm pulling, and I'm pulling, and I'm pulling tight. So as you can see, it's snugging it right up. So that's one. See if I can do it a couple more times. There's the second one. And I'm just sort of making sure the wires are laying beside each other as they go down. They don't have to look ugly. Just because it's a bail doesn't have to look ugly. 2. And a special deal that I told you about, it's not going to come with a chain or anything. You have to put it on your own cord or your own leather or whatever you want to put it on. And that you have to pay for your own shipping. But the rest of it, they said, is 50% off. Just making sure this is going on the way it should. One more time. I like to secure it. Now this is 3 wires I'm doing at one time. So I am going to finish up, if I can get this thing to behave. There we go. Oh, don't kink on me. There we go. So now this wire is the closest. I'm just going to take it and I'm going to bring it up and wrap it around this wire a couple of times, well, 3 times total, just because I like the final security to be on a single wire. Okay, so we're done there, and I have some weaving wire left over to put those beads on like I told you. So let's cut this at the back side so that nobody's going to be bothered by it. Now obviously I don't need all this wire, and I started with 20 inches, so one wire I used up completely, and this 2 wires I have, this one's I've got 4 inches left over, so you probably could have done them a little shorter, but this gave me lots of room to play and I didn't have to worry about it. I'm thinking I just want a couple of little loops and maybe a coil tucked right over the middle, not a coil, a spiral tucked right over the middle of the back of this piece here in the middle. I don't know, let's do these ones first. Okay, so I'm gonna cutting with the flat side towards the work. Take the first piece off. So this isn't wastage, believe me, I will use it again somewhere else. Hey, where's my pliers? So I'm just gonna take it close to the tip. push this in, make sure that's down underneath, and I'm just tucking that in nice and tight beside where it's secured. See, now I got to do the same to the other side. Can't see. There we go. So I'm really pleased with how this turned out, considering I really didn't have a plan when I started, other than I knew I wanted to wrap this eye. Really happy. Once I add the gems, I'll come back and show you, but let's do this last. Do I want a coil in there, or do I want to just do a little something here? I'm just bringing some wires down and hugging them up. I don't want anything being able to catch on anything. And I actually can feel something sharp there that I'll have to check on. Ah, it's the end of the coil. I can see the end of the coil right there. And that last little piece of wire is up, not down. There we go. There we go. Much better. So, you know, when you're going to give this to somebody, you got to make sure that it's nice and it's going to not catch on their sweater and be miserable, and nobody wants a piece of jewelry that's miserable. Nope. See, I'm thinking. This is what I'm doing. I'm actually literally thinking. So I think I'm going to bring this up and bring it down and around. See how I'm matching, sort of matching the other one here. I don't want to cover that. I'm happy that there's you can see the cogwheel at the back. That doesn't bother me at all. So I need to find somewhere to tuck it though. If I go there, I don't know where to tuck it. I know, I'm a goober. Your hands are your friends. The straightening wiring. Now if I take this is a big honking piece of wire, so I'm going to actually make it a lot shorter before I do this. So I'm going to take this and shove it up underneath all of this stuff here. Isn't this fun? Come on, baby, you can do this. Okay, let's see if I get my pliers in there to grab the wire. This is one I could really use a pair of Xeron pliers. Those really thin tipped ones, they would be so awesome. Alright, whoop, almost got it. This getting cut off anyway, so I'm not worried about marring that end of the wire. I'm going to lay this down beside the other one, pull up tight, so that really secures it down too, and bring it around, and then I'm going to cut it and tuck it. So when I cut it and tuck it, I just leave a little bit more than I normally do. And then I take my pliers and I take it and I pull so that it's already starting to tuck under. And then I tuck. And push down. So there we go. All the wires are secure. Now I just have to put the little beads and bubbles and bits along the bottom. And then I will come back and show you the final product. And this has been fun. It's been a fun journey. I'll be right back. Well, I am back. Yay! All done. I'm happy. So happy. See, I added the green stone and some other little stones. So I'm very, very happy girl. This was a grand adventure. So, you only watched it, and I don't know how long this is going to be, maybe 50 minutes, an hour at the most. This was 5 hours work for me, so 5.5 hours work for me, and that's without a break. I needed supper. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe, you know, down below. It's really, really important that you do that, so that, you know, I can do more videos like this. It's really important. And good luck to whoever gets this. It'll be listed on my Etsy shop, and the link below is down again in the comments section, or not comment section, but the section just above that, where all the information is, and that's where I'll put the list of supplies. So take care and keep on making from Manny's Makings. Yay! Bye!